Hello everyone, welcome back to Inside Game Dealer for Friday!
Hey, it's Friday! You know what that means? Yes! Battlefield 5 came out last year, but one of its key features, the Battle Royale mode, is still unreleased.
That's right, it's 2019. Either a shooter has a Battle Royale or it's dead.
Accordingly, the game's sales didn't meet EA's expectations. We've still been curious as to what the new Firestorm mode will look like, though.
Yeah, it's about time we got a new Battle Royale game, right? It's been, what, over a month?
Lawrence, has it been a month?
It's been a drought.
Oh my
I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Well, good news, your wish is about to be granted because while Firestorm isn't due out until the end of the month, a video showing off the new mode has leaked. And it actually doesn't look half bad.
Yeah, the minute-and-a-half video looks like a tutorial, and it gives us a quick intro into Firestorm's mechanics, its weapons and vehicles, and of course that big, scary, burning ring of death that destroys everything in its path.
Yeah, so what did we learn from the video, Lawrence?
Okay, so first of all, you can play solo, duos, or squad, so it's nice to have those options. And like every other Battle Royale game, you fly in on a plane, parachute into an open world.
That makes sense for Battlefield, though.
Yeah, it does actually. It's been there before. Urban areas have a lot more loot, but are more dangerous. Stuff we've seen before. At one point, we see supplies dropping in by some sort of like air balloon dirigible thing.
Cool.
Sure, of the time.
Yeah, so there are objectives and safes all over the map, which is kind of interesting. Acquiring them gives you, quote, reinforcements as well as rare loot and epic combat vehicles.
Vehicles!
Yeah, They did it. They made Battlefield Battle Royale.
Some people think that completing objectives, like capturing a resupply point, is how you'll be able to unlock vehicles.
Yeah, and kind of like care packages in every other Battle Royale, that big-ass balloon will tell everyone exactly where you are when it drops a tank on you.
Exactly. In the video, we saw footage of helicopters, seacrafts, and tanks. The drawback to vehicles, according to the video, is that they give away your location easier and make you vulnerable to anti-vehicle weapons and gadgets, at which point we see someone throw an anti-tank grenade.
Yeah, and then the tank explodes.
Yeah, I do like that though, like, hey, just so you know, if you're in a tank, you're vulnerable to anti-tank things.
Yeah.
If they have them, because it's a battle royale.
I mean, maybe, who knows?
It's a slot machine, unless they're just throwing grenades everywhere, anti-tank grenades
They
everywhere.
might be. Adding armor into a Battlefield Battle Royale is an interesting choice, mostly because unless you have anti-armor equipment, you can't do anything to a tank. Maybe throw yourself into the treads and hope your bones gum up the gears in there.
Yeah.
But by then you'll be dead. At least you sacrificed yourself.
Yeah. Actually, my grandfather did that.
Oh, really?
Oh, great-grandfather. Well, sort of, yeah. It's more like he got really drunk and fell into a wood chipper, but we still call him a hero.
I would too. Power disparity is a core mechanic of most royales. Usually it takes the form of random loot. If I happen to find a better gun, then I have an advantage, but I can still be shot to death.
Yeah, it's a little different though, right, Lawrence?
Yeah, this is potentially creating a scenario where you're staring down a tank and you can't do jack shit against it at all. It's an interesting choice. Maybe tanks just have a super limited amount of shells, so they have to be really choosy about where they fire and when. Or it's possible that anti-tank items are just super common, meaning you have to just make tough decisions about what you carry around. Do you carry anti-infantry grenades? Do you carry anti-tank? Do you want to just do a spread of everything or specialize? This is where tactics and strategy, squad strategy, could come into it, but it's hard to say. I know that like in normal Battlefield 5, if you're in a tank, you just shoot everything all the time. There's no reason not to. Like if somebody's in a house, just bomb the fucking thing until they have to run out.
But people will spawn in with anti-tank and be like, okay, I can take out this guy now.
Exactly. But yeah, you don't get that in a Royale. So if your entire squad is just shit out of luck, that's a rough feeling.
Typically, my team all wanted to be snipers and stay snipers.
Yeah, there's lots of maybes around vehicles right now. One thing's for sure, it would be damn terrifying to be hiding in a blown-out shack while a tank rolls around trying to explode your ass. That would suck.
Really though, having your ass exploded is terrifying in any situation, also in a video game.
Phrasing. Another possibility is that tanks are just a super rare drop. Reddit user Temporial data mined the Battlefield client and found that there are different kinds of vehicle reinforcements, with some more rare than others. Specifically, you'll have a 40% chance to call in an M3 British half-track, a 40% chance to call in a German half-track, and just a 20% chance to get a Panzer IV.
Good old Temporial also said that V1 rockets will be in Firestorm too.
I love the V1s. Yeah.
You hear the Oh, I love it. What a way to get knocked out of a match, prone in a shitty house, trying to hide from a tank, and then you hear the put-put-put of a V1 closing in.
Back to the video though, it also touched on weapons. They got a color-coded system for weapon rarity. Green is common, blue is rare, and purple is epic. Yeah, we've all seen this before for many, many years, and decades at this point. Welcome to Battle Royale. It's a circle jerk of gameplay design, basically.
Yeah, Lawrence, tell us about the epic weapon.
Ooh, so this is where the attachment game comes in. They have like scopes, extended mags, reduced recoil. Interestingly, those just seem attached to the gun. It doesn't seem like you can run around and find those stuff just laying around. So it seems like they're trying to maybe simplify or stratify the looting, scavenging aspect of the game a little bit. You can also only carry a limited amount of ammo, same as other battle royals, so you have to be careful about that. You can also share with your squad, so if you stacked up on ammo you can't use, you can just toss it out there for other people to get. Like other battle royals, you got backpacks to expand your inventory, of course. See, healing and armor items too. Kind of like in PUBG or in Fortnite or anything.
Bandages.
Yep. At some point, we saw the players shoving metal plates into their clothes, which is presumably the armor.
That's cool.
Part of the animation involved like taking out a damaged piece of armor. So I imagine you get shot, your armor goes down, you got to use an armor item, which apparently is just like a frying pan that you just jam back into your outfit to stay alive.
But Lawrence, actually, another question for you is, what about the classes?
Yeah, that's a kind of a cornerstone of Battlefield combat, but it looks like they're not coming over from multiplayer. The video says there will be no class-specific benefits in Firestorm. You're just a regular old soldier dropping into the battlefield. No medics with quick healing, no armor repair.
That's the way it goes
No
though in Battle
scouting?
Royales. Battle Royales are generally that way.
It makes sense. Yeah, you actually want to get healed by someone and damage him. No, I'm not a doctor.
Another that little like arm in arm, like head pat.
Yeah.
Kiss each other.
Hands through the
sorry.
hair, like little kiss.
I have no med kits. I can just kiss you.
Another interesting part of the video was when it showed you incapacitated.
Right.
If you're down, Firestorm's got a system where you can still fire a sidearm and be revived by teammates. So you can fire your little gun as you're like falling around on each other.
Tom Hanks it.
But if you bleed out, that's it. No respawn. Unlike Apex Legends and soon Fortnite is
Yeah.
also adding respawn.
But if we've learned one thing from Battle Royale, it's that they love sucking good ideas off of each other.
Jeez, crazy man. What's your deal?
Ready for the weekend.
It's easy to imagine a patch a few months from now where you yank the dog tags off of a down squad mate, then find a radio to call in reinforcements. Then your buddy parachutes back into the battlefield. But hey, DICE, you do you here. No, I'm actually saying no DICE.
Yeah, do
Add in
that.
respawn literally right now because that's what's happening.
Are you saying no comma dice or hey, no dice? Another thing we saw a lot in the video was, of course, destructible environments.
That's right.
Yeah.
Firestorm has a shrinking boundary just like every other Battle Royale game, but since this one is made of fire, it's a lot more dangerous and it's something you need to get away from immediately. I don't know that there's going to be time that you can survive through the fire or
Yeah,
not.
it's knocking down houses and stuff, and I kind of like the idea of a ring that just insta-kills you.
I don't know. We'll
I can see how that could be frustrating if you're like Battlefield-wise, if you're like caught on a rock,
Oh,
or you're
I
like
thought you were
stuck in
gonna
vault
say,
animation, you're like jiggling, and the
gonna say-
ball's coming out, you're like, no.
It's also pretty frustrating for Germany during World War II. Damn you, Russians. But yeah, the trailer did have some sweet footage of the fire ring decimating lots of things, basically buildings, everything in
that's
its
awesome.
path. It's pretty rad.
Yeah, the destructible environments look like they could really set Firestorm apart from its competitors because that's what Battlefield does really well.
Yes, and speaking of that, it will need it.
Yeah.
As for the mode itself, we haven't heard a lot lately, but earlier this week we started getting leaks from Redditors who were data mining the game's files.
Then someone got a hold of the tutorial video and posted it on the Battlefield 5 subreddit. That prompted a response from the DICE community manager who gave the obligatory leaks of early version and this information just that early. When you read or watch some, the rest of some of the things you'll see be different when things release.
And they took another shot of whiskey. I love my job. Battlefield 5 Twitter account also acknowledged the leak in a tweet saying, more to come.
And then there were two emojis next to it, fire and storm.
Hashtag Firestorm.
Maybe they were gonna add a ping system. They should. They should add spotting. Battlefield's always had to spot.
Yeah.
I mean, on that note, Battlefield already has one, right, Lawrence?
Yeah, they've had spotting for a long time.
Yeah.
Like before every other game. It's weird we kind of point to Apex and be like, oh, your pings. Battlefield has had this for a decade or more. It's strange. So yeah, pinging enemies is an interesting mechanic, and so they rolled it way back in Battlefield 5. Used to be you would just like you'd swipe across the horizon, mashing Q, and your guy would go bang. And then yeah, you drop a Dorito of death on somebody's head, and then just start firing at them indiscriminately. That would throw the balance of a battle royale way off.
It's true.
If you could just spam spotting and then mark somebody through walls and stuff. So yeah, maybe. I don't know, maybe there's gonna be a ping system at some point. We don't see it in the trailer.
In Battlefield 5, you could hit Q and it would add a marker of where
Yeah.
you thought the guys were.
Yeah, so it was a little closer to Apex where it's like over there and then you'd have to communicate.
Yeah.
This is pretty theoretical, but maybe there's no explicit class mechanics in Firestorm because of that. Just spitballing here, but maybe it could be an emergent thing based on the items you find. Like maybe you can find a pair of binoculars that you can look through and spot people through that, kind of like the Scout does in Battlefield 5. Maybe you can pick up a blowtorch, get the ability to repair armor. Maybe pick up a syringe and you can revive instantly instead of like reciting poetry to somebody while they're dying on the battlefield.
That's good. Yeah.
It's possible then that classes become an emergent thing based on the items you find and when, and then you have to coordinate with the rest of your squad to figure out what items they're grabbing. And then you can get a full Battlefield squad that each person has a role and they're kind of trying to play it together. It's interesting. Nothing in the trailer actually implies this, to be clear, but it's fun to speculate, and it could be an interesting way to adapt the way Battlefield plays now into a battle royale.
Speculate we'll continue doing because Firestorm is due out on March 28th, and it's clear that EA and DICE are hoping that it can turn Battlefield 5's fortunes around.
Oh man, did they forget about Apex Legends? The game has been a disappointment so far for EA. In February, the publisher said that it had sold more than 7.3 million copies, which is pretty good, but they were hoping for at least 1 million more than that.
Ah, me too. I always say that too. You know,
Only 7.
Hey, Rooster Teeth, I like this paycheck, but just maybe 1 million
Just
more.
1 million more, why not?
If you got it. EA blamed part of the poor sales on the decision to hold off on the Battle Royale mode and release the single-player campaign first.
I wish they hadn't done that. I'm just gonna say it right now, I wish they hadn't done that.
Have any of you guys played the single-player campaign?
No. I played multiplayer a lot, but I did not play the
Did
single.
I?
I really like I like Battlefield 1 single-player a lot.
It was okay.
War stories, but
I heard Battlefield 5 single player was not good.
That's what I heard too. It's a pretty game though, so it's sort of like, hey, can my video card run this? And that's usually its test, but
I'm gonna go home tonight and play that.
You do that.
And you can go do it anytime you want. It's right there.
You choose how to celebrate your Friday night, like you want to celebrate it, and you want to play a forgotten game.
You're
from
allowed.
6 months ago,
you're
you
allowed.
do it,
Beat
man.
Devil May Cry for the 3rd time.
Yeah. So I guess the question here for everyone is it too late for a new battle royale game? I mean, Apex Legends is only a month old and has proven that a really good game can still find an audience.
Yeah, is it too late for one more Battle Royale game? Have we hit the saturation point? Time will tell. Even though it was a disappointment, 7.3 million is a lot of copies.
Yeah.
So there's a pretty substantial base of Battlefield 5 players that honestly, I think are probably waiting for that Battle Royale mode. Yeah. When I bought it, I was really excited about it, and they delayed it, and I was like, why did they do that?
Million, though.
What?
Apex already has 50 million.
Oh no, Apex has got but it's free to play.
Also, in grand EA fashion, anytime you go to find Battlefield, especially on PC, if you go through Origin, it's gonna be right next to Apex, a free game. So why would anyone pay $50 for it?
What about Anthem? Don't forget about Anthem.
Most of us have. We almost went a whole day. Reset the clock. And I guess, like we were saying, maybe there is a chance EA could make Firestorm free to play.
That was your idea. That was a good idea.
I mean, it's one of two. It's either make it free or die.
I really think Adam's right. I think you make Firestorm a free-to-play mode. You sell Battlefield 5 for $20. If you want to play the multiplayer, you got yourself another game on Origin that you can play.
Why not?
Probably a free weekend or something. I don't know.
Look, Battlefield 5 is a great game, guys. I'm not saying buy it, but I promise you it's really fun.
The fact that I have to keep telling me that makes me think that it's not.
No, I know, and that's the problem, is that I have to say, no, really, I had fun. Ain't nobody playing it.
Well, whatever you choose to play this weekend, you enjoy it. Unless you're Lawrence and you're playing Battlefield 5's
Single player
game. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you next week.
I bought it. I gotta.
Not so fast.
Oh.
Fortnite isn't dead yet.
Oh, thank God.
It's back and has a hip, fresh new attitude that all the kids will love, like Lawrence.
Yeah, I love it. They're giving out free V-Bucks. Updated graphics are just sick now. They got decals on everything. They got tribal tattoos. They got a backwards red cap so you can look like Fred Durst.
What year do you think? No. They're actually just copying the stuff that people love